Well, it's 7:06, so I will call this meeting of the Vinyl Square Strategic Action Plan Committee to order. Just for the record, for the minutes, we have in attendance Evan Belansky, Jason Poor from the Chelmsford Police Department, Laura Lee, Mike Walsh, and Nancy McKenemy-McComb from the library. Did I pronounce that correctly?
It's McKenemy-McComb, but you can skip to
sorry.
McComb, that's okay.
And also Sarita Fernandez. Okay, so Evan's connecting to audio. Let me just give him a minute.
So you live in Chelmsford? Whereabouts?
Right across the street from Mahoney's up there.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Okay.
I'm down past, off of Main
Evan,
Street,
can you hear, are you connected to audio?
instead of 103.
Mm-hmm.
Go down Main Street, Purdon Lane.
Okay.
Maybe he can call in.
Right, you're next to it.
So,
Oh,
just call the agenda up so you guys can see it.
Like, you remember where I live?
Yep,
You had a bear in our yard Thursday night.
did you? Yeah, there's one hanging out right in our neighborhood.
Yeah,
Okay, so,
That's crazy.
it was headed towards after it was headed towards the library, because they've started.
I'll just put
construction.
the agenda, I'm gonna, guys,
Sorry.
back on, okay? I'll just put the agenda up briefly, and I'll take it down so we can see each other. But just so folks are reminded of what is on it. The first on the agenda is public comment. Do we have any public comment? And we'll have it again at the end. Okay. Next up, we have the approval of the minutes from September 29th, which I don't know if you guys had a chance to look at them. They came out shortly before the meeting.
I did not get a chance, I saw them come out today.
Yeah, they came out kind of late. So do you, Laura, I can't hear you.
Yeah, no, I didn't have a chance to read them either. I'm
All
sorry.
right, so should we defer that approval till next time?
I think so,
Okay.
yeah. Sorry.
I have a question for the group with respect to the minutes. We are behind on the April 22nd minutes. Haven't been done yet, and it's kind of ticking along. Technically, we don't have to take a vote on the minutes, and especially if we don't meet in December. Is the group okay with me working the minutes with Laura Lee, and we can prove each other, and I can approve them, and we can get them posted? That was a short meeting. It was just when we did the transition from Joe to me, and I think the library was here briefly. So are you guys okay with that if we just move that one along?
Yeah.
And get it
Yes.
posted? Okay.
Absolutely.
Yes,
I'll close with Laura Lynn on that. I'm sorry, I keep saying Laura Lee.
that's okay.
That's
No,
okay. And I'd really like Evan to be able to join the audio portion for the next topic because he's helping me with it. Why don't we go out of order? Looks like Evan's gonna try to join again. Laura, do you want to do the update on the historical commission related recommendations from the VSAP plan?
Yeah, well, I can, but as I mentioned to you, I don't really have an update. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to make the historical commission meeting. I've been really busy with my job, and I won't be able to get there until the beginning of the year. So I'll contact them and see when their meetings will be in like January and February, and hopefully I'll make one of those. So sorry about that.
So when would be, can you let me know when you think you're going to be going to one of their meetings, and then I'll put it on the agenda for real after that?
Sure,
Um,
sure. Yeah,
Cause
I'll
it
just
sounds
have to
like
check their
probably
schedule
February,
in February.
but if you could just confirm with me, that would be
Absolutely.
great.
Yep.
I'm still seeing if Evan's coming back. I'm gonna defer the agenda item number 4, which is the committee business representative and business outreach, until we see if Evan's able to join and be part of that discussion, so I'll come back to that if that's okay with you. I'll take it out of order. And when Brian joins, we'll talk about the holiday tree lighting. So I'm gonna go ahead and go to the, comes on again. See if Evan's able to get in.
Here it goes.
Hey, Evan, can you hear us now?
You're on mute if you're
Evan,
talking.
are you able to unmute? Okay. So I can, why don't we go around the room and then we'll see if Evan's got his audio, but then we'll go back to the business outreach. I'm gonna go ahead and take, updates related to Christine Clancy and Paul Collins items, if that's okay with folks, and then I'll keep going around the room. So, from Christine, the clock is gonna be installed in the spring. They don't have the permit from the state, and, they have to generate, some of the planning in CAD, I guess, in order to get the permitting. So they're expecting to get that within the next month, and then they will still plan on installing the electric ahead of spring, so that the tower clock can be installed in the square in the spring. And the pavers and everything will go along with that. The charging stations at McKay, the senior center, and Vinyl Square are all being installed and energized. And she said that they'll update the community once that's completed. They made adjustments to the wayfinding signs, so you could actually make your way to McKay. I think Evan said that last time. And also, I don't know if you've noticed, but the library, the International Library symbol sign at the corner of Newfield and Groton that was kind of tilted and had a hole in the head has been replaced, so that looks much better now. The Vinyl Square and the Route 3A traffic improvement plan, she's still waiting to get updates from the state on that. And I sent out a flyer that the tree committee has created for a memorial tree program, so they're taking applications now through February 1st. And they've identified trees at Barney Park, at the high school, and at Roberts Field that could be memorial trees. And then the last big one from Christine is the Main Street assessment and design. If you recall, she had budget this year to hire someone to do a full-up design plan for Main Street. And they received a preliminary document. And she said that they're reviewing that right now. They're planning to have a public meeting probably in January or February for comments. They're looking at work in 3 phases at about $500,000 in each phase, with funding to start in fiscal '27. And that'll be a capital request. And she did mention that the scope includes the reconfiguration of School Street and Main and the intersection of Main and Groton. They're looking at sidewalks for that whole strip, which a lot of the residents have asked for. And also they're looking at possibly other traffic calming or like flashing lights for pedestrian crossing in some of the high traffic areas along that part.
So that probably wouldn't be FY 27. I'm
Yeah.
assuming they're January 1, right? This
Fiscal year.
fiscal year 27. You said funding. So this won't start for another year.
Right,
Oh, okay. I was under the impression it started next June of 26.
that is fiscal 27,
Is that's fiscal 27?
isn't it? Yeah.
I think July 1.
July
July 1st.
Oh, July 1st, that's what, yes, so fiscal year, the town starts July 1?
Yes, the town's fiscal year is July 1st to June 30th.
Okay, that's what, okay.
Yeah, but the capital planning, so without Christine here, the capital planning doesn't start until the fall.
Okay.
So unless she put it in the cycle for this year, which she might have. Oh, sorry, I got Brian waiting, hang on. She might have it in this year's capital planning request, because they start reviewing those, I believe, in November.
Okay.
What were the roads that you talked about?
The what?
What were the roads that you mentioned for that?
So this was it's Main Street, but it's between the intersection of Main and School Street and Main and Groton Road. So a couple of years ago, they repaved from School Street out to the Westford line.
Mhm.
And the issues with Main Street are the condition of the road and also safety issues. There's been a fatality on Main Street. There's not, a lot of people walk that road and there's only like a sidewalk for part of it. So they're looking at traffic calming and safety measures also.
Thanks.
Brian, just to catch you up, I'm taking go around the table out of order, and then we're gonna go back to the business representative and the Vinyl Square holiday tree lighting.
Okay, thank you.
I can do Paul Cohen's updates that I got from him as well. For Ledge Road, that is in land court, and it's still, I mean, not much has happened in a month. There's work being done by the attorneys. The Watton Fields, the boat ramp, we did receive the license for that from the state, but again, it's kind of a slow process through the state. And also I wanted to feedback to the committee when we had David Sperry here at the last meeting, and he was talking about the invasives on one of the trails at Watton Fields, such that you can't walk on the trail without going through the softball field, because they're so overgrown. Carl Bischoff, the chair of the Conservation Commission, has coordinated with Christine Clancy and David Combs, and they have a plan to remove those invasives. It's I forget the exact type of invasive, but you have to be careful how you do it or you just let them spread. So they're gonna get that cleared up. The Vinyl Square parking lot lease, Paul said he has started some initial communications. That did pass at town meeting, giving him the authority to negotiate a 30-year lease.
Great.
And that will come up in the spring, so he has started some communications, and if you recall, we voted on that because the new property owner will continue to lease the lot for $1 to the town, the part that they own. There hasn't been much movement on the cell tower inquiry that came in about Richardson Road. I think he's poking them once in a while, but that hasn't moved at all. And I think that was it from Paul. So, Lieutenant Poor, do you wanna go? Do you have any updates for Hardy Park or neighborhood safety or anything?
No, I know we took part in the kids' holiday parade, which was a good turnout, and I'm here to find out what the plan is for the holiday tree lighting.
Okay, we're gonna get to that. Laura, do you have any other updates?
No, but thank you, Jason and team. It was wonderful.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. Mike, do you have any other general updates?
No,
Sunita?
I do not.
And Nancy, anything for the library?
Just a couple quick things. We had somebody back into the book drop, so that's been fixed and replaced. And then with the new parking lot, they had created kind of an asphalt berm that someone drove into their front tires and had to get towed. And so that's been filled with gravel recently. So that, and then if people are interested, the Golden Chain Garden Club has contacted me. And they're interested in helping us with a little bit of beautification in terms of the plants there. So they're offering 3 visits a year: spring cleanup, summer visit and cleanup, and a fall cleanup.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it is really nice.
That's
I'm very
wonderful.
excited about that one. So those are my briefs.
Okay. And we lost Evan again.
The Golden Chain Garden Club, is that like where are they out of?
It's Chelmsford. I understand that there are at least 2 garden clubs. And a Golden Chain used to do the McKay Library a long time ago, and then they dropped off, and then they decided they would get re-involved. So,
That's awesome.
yeah, excited.
Okay, so nothing else on the team updates around the table?
Virginia.
Yeah.
Laura Lynn's in the waiting room.
Okay, thank you.
Just want to give you.
Okay. So, Brian, I'm gonna go ahead and let you do the holiday tree lighting, and if Evan isn't back by then, I will go ahead and cover all of the business representative outreach portion. Laura Lynn, we're going out of order on the agenda just because of the order in which people were able to join us tonight.
Okay.
Brian, are you there?
I am, yep. So in the car, and I'm sorry, it's just been one of those days. Hopefully you can hear me, and if I cut out, just interrupt me and I'll shush. So the gist of the plan for the holiday tree lighting event is that it's on December 6th, which is a Saturday. The plan is from 4 to 6 p.m. I think many folks have been contacted, but not everybody. Fire department, music, Lieutenant Poor, I owe you an email, and I apologize about that. And with some more logistics and details, but hopefully CPD can assist again this year as you have. Thank you.
Yep.
I think I sent around a Google Drive link, which is a spreadsheet of sort of the outstanding to-do items. Many of them are largely fundraising focus, but most of the like event specific, things that happen every year are either covered or in the works, and are, in pretty good shape. I will be picking up the banner on Wednesday, likely, but sometime this week. And it has been dropped off with Red Mill Graphics, who've offered to update the sign again this year. So I will be hanging it as usual after Veterans Day. I have not been to Booth Square recently and seen if the Veterans Square sign is up, but usually we wait till after that banner comes down. There is a volunteer event on the Sunday after Thanksgiving. That'll be November 30th, which would involve ideally 8 to 10 folks, but we can do it with less. We get it done faster if there are more. Largely involves hanging wreaths on the telephone poles and decorating the gazebo itself, and then that's basically how we leave it for the week. And the following Saturday is the actual event. We certainly could use event hands on the day of from, let's say, noon on, but maybe 1 o'clock is fine. Whenever folks get there. There is a core team of about 8 of us that are on the email chain that I know are anticipating volunteering that day and getting things set up. But many hands light work. And that largely involves setting up the mailbox and sort of the day of stuff. So that off the top of my head, from a rainy car ride is what I can recall. Am I missing anything obvious? Please chime in if I am.
So where do you need, do you need committee help on the 23rd?
No, I don't think we need anything on the 23rd. The 30th would be the day. And right now, I think we've got a core team of at least 8 that likely will be there for either a portion of the time or most of the time. And I know there have been sort of several text message threads and email chains going around asking for help. So I anticipate a few folks might walk down on the day of. Honestly, it's about 2 hours worth of work, even with a small crew. So I'm not too worried about the 30th, but if folks are available that day and want to help, we generally meet down there after church hours, so try to aim for noon. And if you can't get there till 1, totally fine, right? But we should be wrapped up by 2:30, 3 o'clock. And then that's basically all I need for help. Is that day and then the morning of the event, or sort of early afternoon of the event.
Brian,
Okay,
what's
do you-
the actual tree lighting?
What time is it? 5:40-ish. Sort of one of those, when Santa's ready, when the fire department can get them down there. But we usually aim for the truck to get down there around 5:45, and then everybody's basically walking home by 6:15.
And have
What time did you announce that the event starts though? It's earlier
starts
than
at
that.
4 o'clock. Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, Jason, go ahead.
Have you communicated with the fire department about the ride for Santa?
Yes, sir. Yep.
And then we'll bring him back like we have in the past.
The exit plan is always fluid, right? I don't know. Yes, that would be great if you could give him right back up to the station.
Yep.
That would be great. Thank you.
Okay.
One of the gators or whatever you have.
Sounds good.
And I'm sorry, on the day of the tree lighting, should the committee show up at like 4, or do you need us there earlier?
I hate to say we have all bases covered because I am not entirely sure of that. But for the most part, I think we have most of the bases covered. Like I think if you could get there at 3 and help with any of the final touches, if you're planning on coming, that would be great. But I wouldn't anticipate you need to be there before 3. Most of the setup happens between 2 and 4, and then we're ready to go by 4 o'clock.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you to you and everybody who worked on this for all that. I know it all comes together every year, and it's a lot of fun.
I do want to call out, I can't call them out by name, by memory, and I apologize, but Dee and several of the folks that have reached out this year as new volunteers, as well as folks who are continuing on as new volunteers from last year. It's sort of informal and an email thread, but people show up when you ask, and I really, really appreciate it. It's fun to see the tradition, continuing. So thanks.
Okay. So Evan, we took agenda items out of order. We did do the team updates around the room, so if you have anything to add to that, please feel free. And I have not done the committee business representative and business outreach. I was hoping that you'd be able to join that discussion.
Okay, well, here I am.
Do you want to take this one, or do you want me to?
Why don't you lead on the outreach?
Okay, so I sent a sample like newsletter flyer type thing out to the committee. Evan has gone through the database of business certificates from the town clerk, and we looked at addresses ranging from, was it like Mahoney's up through Tingsboro Road? And also the side streets that have storefront businesses. And so he's got a list of over 90 businesses that we're gonna put together this mailing and send it out. And then I think we're also gonna reach out to the property owners, right, Evan?
Right.
And some of those he can actually do by email, he has their emails. So just to make awareness that we have the seat open, and also, I don't know if everybody do we have a couple people here from the public, Evan, so I'm just gonna share my screen real quick. So there's basically an introduction about who we are and that we have an opening for a storefront business representative. That we meet every 1 to 2 months, the link to the application, the link to the committee page and the link to the Facebook page. And then we'll probably also add a line on here if they want to be put on the email list to let us know if we're gonna maintain that, because I have a list from, that previously was used, but it is out of date and needs some updates. And then on the second page, I really derived this from the annual report that everybody approved already. So I just put some examples, this will be on the back side of it, of things that this committee has done and supported the town in, under the town's lead, where we have provided input or where we roll up our sleeves and help. So we'll be, working, I think Evan said he was gonna try to get that out, probably the end of this week, early next week. And then, yeah, I think that's it. That was what we had discussed last time, so that's the progress we made with it. And we're just getting ready to push the go button. Do you have anything to add, Evan?
No, I think you covered that one very well. Thank you.
Okay. Any questions, comments?
No, it's great. Thanks for doing it.
Yeah, and so then the only other thing is we had talked about if we needed to like walk flyers around, but I think we're in pretty good shape with the data we have between the property address owners and the business certificates, but if there's any gaps there, we'll try to fill that in. And then do you have anything else to add in terms of business or housing items of interest?
Yeah, a couple items quickly. 133 Princeton Street has been back in front of the planning board for several modifications, primarily with the facades of the building were built differently than what the planning board approved. So the planning board meets Wednesday night with them again. Indications are that they will be revising their facades, meaning what you see out there, what's been constructed, to place some false windows where windows were supposed to be installed. That should likely resolve the planning board changes. From there, they'll have to go back to the select board for a modification to their liquor license, their liquor sales license, to include the new top floor, which I believe they have indicated they want to use for, I guess, tasting events, things of that nature. So that's a dedicated process through the select board. On 255 Princeton Street, that project continues to move forward to completion. The last building, which is the building that has the amenities, remains to be done, but we think within probably this month or within the next 30 days, that building should be complete. I think that's all I have at this point.
When is the Mediterranean restaurant that's going in where Benito's is, when do they plan to open?
I don't have an exact date. I know that the building permit's been issued, so they should actively be doing work in there.
Okay,
Great.
they're renovating the inside?
They are, yes, substantially.
Okay, thank you, Evan. Laura Lynn, did you have any updates on anything in general?
No, I do not.
Okay. So the next agenda item is public comment. Do we have any public comment? Okay. I have a list of future agenda topics and new business items. Did anybody want to add anything to that? I've just been tracking them as we go along. The timeline of related activities, that was something I'll contact Christine about, but if you recall, we were gonna lay out the traffic updates and some of the other major activities and see when it might, make sense to look at initiating a refresh of the plan or an update since it is, 10 years old. And then the beautification on the planter items, those were after the new year. And then the landscaping for the North Road Fire Station was after the new year. Anybody have anything else? Okay, so.
I do,
Go ahead,
right,
Brian.
I glanced at a quick email about beautification. I think it was someone emailing you, Evan. I think it's a great use of those funds. I just want to see if that is the same holiday decorating committee fund or there's a separate beautification fund. I think that's the answer, but I wanted to double check.
To do what?
I think that the scope of it was basically to pay for the planters and planter upgrades that happen sort of twice a year. But correct me if I'm wrong. I really did glance at it today. I'm sorry.
Yeah, this email was from Janet Murphy.
Right,
The sense I get was that she was asking about planters on the common, and if I understood her email correctly,
that's right.
she was interested in purchasing. I think they were false evergreens that already had spiral lights on them. Is that the sense you got, Brian?
It is, yeah. Yeah, to fit sort of as the centerpiece of those, and they would still get the sprays and the other artificials that normally go in them at the perimeter, I guess, around the edge of the planter, but the more of a vertical element in the middle is what that's my sense of it. Which sounds great, right?
So is Janet working with you guys? Or
No,
is it coordinated or?
I don't want to say she's not coordinated. She does it every year, and like she's really good at it. So yes, it's coordinated in that I saw the email.
Okay.
But no, if we've been actively working together on it, no, we haven't.
But that would be the decorating fund, right?
That's my question. Is it holiday tree lighting fund, or is it decorating fund?
No,
Either is fine.
I meant the tree lighting fund.
Gotcha.
If it's with holiday lights, but I don't know, Evan, what were you gonna say?
I think it could come out of either.
Okay. We do have the funds in both, right? Well, I don't know the beautification fund. I think there's about 13 or 1400 left in the beautification fund. And most of the improvements or purchases that are happening as of this year's are either coming out of the Northtown Hall nonprofit fund through other donations. So I think she's got enough funds in that town account if you wanted to submit her receipts there.
Okay.
Well, we had, I guess we'll have to look at it offline because we had also identified like some fairly significant expenses if we were going to replace, use like artificial beautification in the spring planters because or do real plants with a watering program that we pay for. And then the other thing that we had after the first of the year was that if we do that, that's probably gonna start draining that fund very quickly with the quotes that Evan got. And we haven't replenished that fund at all, so we need to come up with an approach for how we replenish the fund. It used to be done by the business rep here, who collected just donations at his shop. And that money just kept going into the fund. So that was one of the discussions that I think at the last meeting we decided to defer to the new year.
I'm happy to join and chime in sort of the things I know about funding options.
Yeah,
But I'm by no means an expert on it, and would be happy to work with the new business rep and the new Virginia on sort of what the
okay.
suite of options are.
We'll figure it out. How much are the ones that Janet wanted to purchase?
It was, 2 items and I think it was a total of $200.
Oh, that's fine.
Okay, I'll let her know.
Yeah, I mean, do you guys agree, are you okay with that? Do we need to take a vote, Evan, or is it not okay?
No, no, we've discussed it. No
Okay.
votes necessary.
Okay. So the next meeting that we have planned is December 15th. And I just wanted to throw it out to the group, is that, I know, for example, Laura can't meet with the historical commission till after the new year, we've got the holiday tree lighting. Evan and I are gonna push along the business outreach. Do we think we have enough to meet in December? Do you guys still wanna meet in December and keep pushing things along, or? The thing I don't wanna run into is I keep worrying if we're gonna have a quorum.
I'm traveling those couple of days, so I'm not.
You're not gonna be here.
No.
Evan, what do you think, in terms of the substance that we might have in December or
I think we could push it to January.
not? Okay. Laura Lynn?
Yeah, I think it'd be fine to push to January. We'd have a lot more to talk about.
Brian and Laura, are you okay with that?
I am available on the 15th, and I'm fine pushing to January. I can communicate all of the stuff I have via email.
The next date after December is January 12th, that's what we had reserved.
Yeah, and I think I will be away the 15th of December, so it's better for me to push it also.
Okay, so why don't we just plan on, I'll send a note out so everybody gets it, and I'll cancel the calendar invite for the 15th of December, and we'll plan our next meeting on January 12th. Okay? Okay.
Sounds good.
Yep.
And Laurel, Lynn, I'll just get with you offline on the minutes, okay?
Sounds good, yep.
All right. So it is 7:44. I'll take a motion.
Can I ask a question first?
Oh, yeah.
So I know, how many positions do we have on the committee?
So the committee,
Seven.
we have the planning board voting member, which is filled. And I forget the number of residents, I think it's 6 or something, but whatever the number is, that's filled.
It's all filled.
So the only one that's open right now is the business representative.
Okay.
Can I ask a question about that business representative position? Did you say it was a storefront business only, or is it any business in Chelmsford?
So I'll let Evan chime in. The intent and how it has traditionally been is when the planning board and the select board, like years ago, decided to commission this committee under the town manager, was that it's a storefront business owner to have representation from that part of the committee, I mean, the community.
Okay, just wondering.
Is that right, Evan? And
Yeah, the committee makeup is not specific. It just says business owner. But as Virginia mentioned, it's historically been a with intent, a storefront business owner.
Okay.
Because hopefully that business owner would represent the other businesses in Vinyl Square.
right.
And get some feedback. Like we did have Dan there for a year or two.
Yeah, and Kenny Pentuso was very active
Yeah.
that way when he was on the committee. Okay, it's 7:45. Can I take a motion now?
Yeah. Motion to adjourn.
Second. Do you need a second?
I have a second. All those in favor? Okay, we're
Aye.
adjourned. Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everyone.